All right. Welcome in. Glad to have everyone back in here. So we'll keep going with more Gabriel Night 2, The Beast Within. So thank you for all the likes, Blue Fay and Chris Brodsky. You both are at it again. We'll keep going here. I left it off at Card Shark. Why did I call it Card Shark? Oh, tarot cards. That was right. Okay, a little bit of a reminder of what I was doing at least. There. Okay, so we just talked to them. We got a reading for myself and a reading for Gabriel. We have not talked to the bar owner yet, though. Well, not in this chapter.
Herr Huber?
Yes?
Oh, that audio was a little weird. Did I get that fixed?
I was wondering if you've changed your mind about telling me where Gabriel is. It's really important.
No. Sorry.
But I need to know. I need to prove to him I'm a
Thanks.
friend, right?
Bitte?
Maybe if we show him our letter from Gabriel, that could do it. Say Gabriel to Grace letter number 2. No? Letter to Ludwig? He might be impressed by that. He loves Ludwig II. No. Gabriel to Grace letter number 1. So how do we get... So, what is it I'm trying to do? I refresh my memory. Look at my notebook.
My notebook.
It is my notebook. You're right.
My notebook.
Oh, that's the wrong... Okay, that's not how we get to it, though. We gotta click this icon. That's how we get to it. All right, Gabriel. Gabriel claims he's doing just fine on the case. He's investigating a suspect at a hunt club. He didn't send any address. Fine. I have my own eggs to fry. All right, we gotta fry some eggs. Okay.
I don't have anything else to say to the Smiths right now. I don't have anything to say to Herr Huber at the moment.
What if there's something else I need to give him? Something I don't have? Like a screwdriver. Okay, not the screwdriver. Letters don't do it. Let's pay him some money. I'll give him my wallet. Nope, I guess not. All right, let's get out of here. Who would know? I don't suppose the post office can tell me where he lives.
Grüß Gott, Frau Nocki-Moore.
Grüß Gott. Haben Sie etwas für mich?
Nein, leider nicht. Brauchen Sie
Hi,
noch
do you have a
etwas?
package for me? No, I don't got your package. Go away. Who needs subtitles?
Bitte.
Maybe we explore the dungeon some more? I do have a screwdriver now I didn't have before, right?
That's the church in the square.
Claw marks.
I'd be barking up the wrong tree in here. Well, there's a bed there for a reason. Try the screwdriver on it. No? Okay. Is the city council or something like that?
Guess they're closed.
Maybe I'll try going back in the church.
I don't want to disturb her.
Oh, well, this is new.
Gerda's here. I wonder what she's up to.
I found Gerda. This is where she finds out who she really loved. They don't have to act all jealous anymore.
Oh my god. Gerda was in love with Wolfgang.
Suddenly they'll become friends.
Boy, do I feel stupid or what.
Grace Nakamura.
Oh, I can't look at any of these other coffins anymore. Can't talk to her.
I really should apologize, but I don't want to interrupt her.
Alright, maybe I'll see her back at the house then. Hey, what about those flowers that are right there? Something about those.
I wonder what kind of flowers these are.
Hmm. Maybe Gertie will give me her keys now. I can take the car somewhere.
Gerda's at the church. Gerda's at the church. Gerda's...
Well, now that Gerda's at the church, we can go sneak into the secret passage and go check out her room. And get her keys to her car. And down here, just let outside.
I don't want to go back into Gerda's bedroom. She might catch me in there.
Okay, or not. So slow. And here I am for no reason. D. Morgan, welcome in. Can I take the roses now? Maybe I'll give them to Gerda. Gertie? Gerda. Something like that. It'll be my way of apologizing. How about that? Here, I picked these roses you've been caring for outside. I'm trying for 60K today, 60K likes. You guys are insane. That'd be awesome. All right, well, I have some roses now. Guess I can't give myself flowers. All the way back out here. I'm clicking fast because I'm trying to get to the church.
I really should apologize.
Here, I am so sorry. Please have these flowers. So she was in love with Gabriel's uncle, who little bit of an age difference there.
There. That's better, don't you think? I'm so sorry. I was an idiot.
Gabriel and I, we never...
I know. It's my fault. It's Gabriel's fault. He never tells me anything.
Oh, yeah, ripped out of his
I
own
don't know
heart.
why he didn't want me on this case.
Total badass.
Maybe he just...
Don't even try to make excuses for him. Still, he's up to his neck in it, I think. Will you help me out with something?
Of course.
I have to do some research on Ludwig. I want to go see some of his castles.
Take Gabriel's car.
Yeah. Yep, they're besties now.
There's a map of southern Bavaria in the car. Ludwig's castles are all marked.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Those look better. I think she wants to be left alone.
I will leave her alone. And she wears that coat everywhere. All right, new save. Take my new keys. All right. So we are currently where? Well, there's the castle of Neuschwanstein. Rittersburg, that's where we are. And Herrenhemsee. Well, we're going to Neuschwanstein. Was she expecting a BMW? Oh, because Gabriel expected a Mercedes. Tour tape.
Our tour begins in the entry hall. Ludwig II lived from 1845 to 1886. He assumed the Bavarian throne at the age of 18 when his father died. Ludwig's passion was building castles. He built 3 during his lifetime: Linderhof, Herrenchiemsee, and Neuschwanstein. Plans for a 4th castle, Falkenstein, were underway when he died. In addition to his obsession with building, Ludwig also had a passion for classical heroic German mythology, a taste he shared with the German opera composer Richard Wagner. Neuschwanstein is decorated throughout with themes from these stories, most of which directly relate to Wagner's operas.
Oh, where's he going? I was going to talk to that guy.
These scenes seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story. These scenes...
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
Oh, well, okay then.
These scenes seem to tell a story.
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
See, who had a bird on his head? That Hermes?
I wonder where that door leads.
Let's get our handy dandy sonic screwdriver. No? Alright, fine.
The closed door leads to the tower, which is not part of the tour. The king was making his way to this very door when he was arrested in 1886.
Pretty interesting. Wonder why he was heading to that door.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
You are now standing in the king's bedroom. The theme of the bedroom is Tristan and Isolde, a tragic love story retold in Wagner's opera. The opera was given its first performance in Munich in 1865, and a 20-year-old Ludwig attended. This is probably the most elaborate and expensive bedroom ever created. It took 14 wood carvers 4.5 years to create this room. It was this kind of extravagance that bankrupted the king. In the years before his death, he found it increasingly difficult to find money from any source.
So I bet something with the guard's route is going to be part of a puzzle. Maybe how to get past that locked door.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde. Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
Hey, which way do we come in?
Did they have running water in 1886? Did they have? Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would help him sleep. Maybe.
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building and its turrets. The bed's draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses.
Oh, all right then.
This is the king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga. The king first saw Wagner's opera Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This too was Ludwig's own fate. Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy, an ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life. He only wanted to be alone with his dreams, so much so that even his servants
Chris
were kept
Brodsky in the lead.
distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid they'd see?
I think I know.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
And look at that chandelier.
The miracle of the Grail.
These linens look seriously expensive and seriously old. These linen.
I can go this way or this way. I think this is where I came in though. Let's try this way. After we wait for her to leave, of course.
More swans.
The swan motif is featured throughout the castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They represented his ideals of majesty and purity. The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival. This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga. In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone. He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig had a standing order that upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed. Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death. They haven't closed since. It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
Oh, so he blew a lot of money. That's what that tells me.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room. I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Okay, so we can go to the left, we can go through that door, and we can go backwards. All right, no guard in here. Quick, let's take
These
the
linens
linens.
look seriously expensive and seriously old.
And what if I go to the left? Okay.
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics. In later years, he also studied the occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king
Well, so far we're just
were
on a
one of the
museum
reasons
tour.
for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy, and the small powers left to him after Bavaria succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration.
Oh, hello, guard. Want to have a chat?
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Nope.
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
What if the guard was not in the room?
I doubt there's anything.
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle.
Try not to sit on that screen for too long. Are we going to exit to the left or through the door? Looks like that's it. He's still going to be there? Yeah. Okay, we can look closely at the desk though.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died.
I don't know. Just got bit by something, I guess.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died.
This is the final room of our tour, the Singers' Hall. It was modeled after the Singers' Hall of the Wartburg Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was built for small private concerts, but Ludwig himself never gave one here. It is said that during the last few years of Wagner's life, he came to Neuschwanstein frequently and performed for the king alone in this room. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings. The original paintings were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882, Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new paintings himself. While all the other rooms in the castle show scenes from Wagner's operas, the scenes in this room are not from any opera that anyone can identify. It is yet another of the many mysteries associated with the life of the fairy tale king.
Unique scenes?
The hunters track down Engelhard and Hildegunde. Engelhard courts Hildegunde. Engelhart and the Blacksmith.
So what's the story being told here?
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings. But what story? There must... I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Alright, so we can exit downwards or to the left. There's a door here as well. Doesn't look like we can interact with it though. Okay, other parts of the room.
The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron.
Welcome in, Dust Off Dustmaster.
The death of Engelhart.
But he's a wolf.
Nice view of the Alps.
That would be really cool to see.
Ludwig's childhood castle, Hohenschwangau, is visible from the lookout in the Singers' Hall.
Dustin Johnson, welcome in. Thanks for the heart me and the Go Popular. So that must be his childhood home, castle.
Nice view of the Alps.
Wait, did I just leave the castle? That was the exit. Okay. What was this way? Yeah, that's where we came in. Okay, so I don't think I went through this door. Aha!
This is Ludwig's private chapel. The king was a devout Catholic.
Dustin
As
Johnson,
were
thank you
all
for
of the
the
Wittelsbacher
hide
rulers.
and seek doll.
They supported the Roman Church even when other European countries were dominated by Protestantism.
It's a beautiful crucifix. Ivory and gold. It's a beautiful crucifix. Ivory and gold.
Of course, he couldn't have silver around.
The Black Madonna of Altadine. I wonder what her story is all about.
The stained glass window depicts St. Louis receiving the last sacraments.
I wonder if there's something to do in every room, or some of the rooms even. I go. Oh, is that it? Okay, go this way.
More swans.
Huh.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room.
So what do I have in my inventory that's useful? This is the tape for the museum.
I picked up a tour tape in English on my way in.
Did I record over
I
it?
picked up a tour.
That'd be pretty inappropriate. All right. All of her, what am I trying to say? All of her tabs are filled now. And there's a new one for Wagner. Neuschwanstein. The entire castle is decorated in themes from classical, heroic German dramas. A taste Ludwig shared with composer Wagner. What's his first name? Richard? In fact, most of the stories illustrated at Neuschwanstein are ones Wagner wrote operas about. Except perhaps the I guess that is an R. It looked like it was an L. I was like, Richard. Okay. So, new topic, Wagner. Alright, so we need her to leave so I can use the screwdriver on stuff. Maybe.
I don't need to mess with the guards. I came to tour the castle. I doubt there's anything left in there now.
You don't know that. Maybe all we had to do is look at stuff. Can't go that way. I don't know if there's actually going to be anything for me to do in here. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the guard to come in here so I can go into the next room. Without the guard there. Steal a painting? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine how much those are worth? Maybe one of these paintings leads to a secret room or something. This isn't Laura Bow. There's no hidden passageways in the walls. Always trying to get a terminal act out of you. Yep. And if I do, I'll add the counter back.
Grace Nakamura.
Hey, that's me.
I wonder why Ludwig was going to the tower the night he was arrested.
I also wonder, how can we get into the tower?
I wonder why Ludwig was... These scenes are from the Siegfried saga.
Siegfried, that's who it is.
These scenes are from the Siegfried saga. I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
You gonna leave? Come on, get out of here. No.
Did they have running water in 1886? Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would
panel
help
in
him
the bed?
sleep.
Maybe something like that. Well, there's another location we can go to. It's not just this. No one's leaving their rooms now.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died.
So, which tower is it? This one? Okay, everything just takes me in the building. Alright, let's try another castle. Off we go to Herrenchiemsee. Whatever it's called.
I can't see the displays until I've gotten past the counter. I can't see the displays until I've gotten past the counter.
You mean the ones you're looking at that's right next to you?
I can't see the displays until I've gotten past the counter.
Sie können hier nicht hereinkommen, bevor Sie Eintritt gezahlt haben.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She said, good to see you today, ma'am.
I can't see the displays until I've gotten past the counter. I can't see...
Okay, to the counter.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ist das die Ludwig Museum?
Ja, ja. Ludwig der Zweite von Bayern.
So nice.
Ich hätte gern eine Eintrittskarte fürs Museum.
Ja, 8 Mark für eine Ganztagskarte.
She said, give me money. Money now, please. Yeah, excellent customer service. Absolutely.
Danke.
She sold a ticket, didn't she? And made a friend. 8 marks for the ticket. That probably sounds accurate. Rather than what I said. And then I show her my ticket. Guess I don't need it now. All right, letter from Ludwig to Elizabeth.
July 3rd, 1863. Elizabeth, you can have no idea, dear cousin, how happy you made me. The hours recently passed with you in the railway carriage I consider among the happiest in my life. Never will their memory fade. You gave me permission to visit you at Ischl. If the time comes for this ardent hope to be fulfilled, I shall be of all men upon earth the most blessed. The feelings of sincere love and reverence and faithful attachment to you, which I cherished in my heart even as a boy, makes me imagine heaven upon earth, and will be extinguished by death alone. I beg you with all my heart to forgive the contents of this letter, but I could not help myself. Ludwig.
It's very heartfelt.
Elizabeth frequently gave Ludwig advice on royal conduct, hoping to protect him from unfavorable public opinion. March 1st, 1865. My dearest Eagle, you have not written me in a few months. I have missed you. I often try to imagine what you are doing. I hear tales that you have been on retreat and have not been seen in Munich for some time. I suspect it is this new friend you wrote up so mysteriously that takes you away from home. I hope you are enjoying yourself, my beloved, but I beg you to caution. The people need to see you at the throne. I also hesitate to suggest that what your officials do in your absence may not always be in your own best interest.
It's true.
You have always been a true king, but you must let the people see you to ensure that they don't forget that. E. Your dove.
1878. Quite a bit later.
Ludwig's friends were concerned for his mental state long before his arrest. June 14th, 1878. My beloved Eagle, in your last letter you spoke so movingly of your torment that I was moved to tears. What is this torment? Why won't you confess to me what is truly troubling you? You must know that I would never despise you, no matter how horrible you believe your sins to be. Please do not write such barbs to my heart by even suggesting such things. If you do not wish to confess to me, at least tell me how I can aid you. I am always your true one, your dove. In this letter, dated November 1886, Elizabeth of Austria thanks Bishop Frank for his assistance in helping her fulfill Ludwig's last wishes. She writes that she knows it was an unusual request, but she believes Ludwig had reasons of his own for wishing it to be done. She hopes that his spirit finds peace at last. No further reference to this letter has ever been found. One can only speculate what the last wishes of a cornered and embattled Ludwig might have been.
Concrete coffin, maybe?
What were his last wishes?
Take
This place
his
is giving me more
body and leave it
questions
out in
than
the woods.
answers.
That might be Elizabeth.
She's beautiful. Elizabeth of Austria. One of Ludwig's few close friends was Empress Elizabeth of Austria. She was a distant cousin of the boy Prince, and he saw her often growing up. Graceful and beautiful, Elizabeth seemed to represent the feminine ideal to the younger Ludwig. Their friendship continued after her marriage, mainly by correspondence. She remained a source of stability for Ludwig throughout his life. In keeping with Ludwig's love of romance and drama, he called her the Dove, and he to her was the Eagle.
Cousins, huh? I guess distant cousins.
Ludwig is Prince Charming. He played the part well.
Wonder if I can ask her some questions now.
I don't have anything to say to her at the moment.
Okay, or not.
I don't have anything to say to her at the moment. Ludwig and Wagner. Ludwig loved the opera of his contemporary Richard Wagner. He helped support Wagner's music through much of his life. Ludwig considered Wagner a close friend, often calling him the great friend. Wagner encouraged this infatuation, some believe, for personal gain. Typical artist.
Sounds like a stab there.
He looks so regal. Why would he give up all of this pageantry and become a recluse?
Ludwig is Grand Master of the Knights of St. George. The Knights of St. George was an aristocratic society dedicated to the acts of chivalry. Ludwig loved the medieval pageantry of the order in his early years, before his increasing reclusiveness drove him to abandon public appearances.
The Knights of St. George. Seems relevant.
Even after Wagner's death, Ludwig still showed signs of obsession with the composer. This letter, written in 1882 by Ludwig to the conductor of the Munich Opera, instructs the conductor to make preparations for a new Wagner opera. The conductor went to see the king as instructed. When he arrived, Ludwig was ill and refused to see him. Nothing further was ever heard of this mysterious new opera. Was it a figment of an ill man's desperate wishes?
Now, isn't that a true piece of history that Ludwig was trying to claim he had one of Wagner's unfinished operas and that he finished it or something like that? Sounds familiar.
Ludwig is offered a crown of laurels by the genius of immortal fame. July 1874. By the power of the lily, we shall have the strength to resist all temptations throughout the whole year. 26 July 1875. Solemn oath before the picture of the great king. Refrain for 3 months from all excitement. This oath has its binding power as well as its potency by de par le Roy.
3 months from all excitement.
DPLR.
What excitement! I need to see more of that diary. Richard Wagner. Ludwig's diary. Ludwig kept a diary from 1869 when he was 24 years old until his death. The diary provides a fascinating look into the mind of this tormented man.
The original diary is kept in the Royal Archives. A few entries are shown on the opposite wall.
I've got to see that
Royal
diary.
Archives. How are we going to find the Royal Archives?
Signets and sash pins from the Order of the Knights of St. George. These were worn on Ludwig's uniform, as befitted his rank of Grand Master. They are now the property of the Bavarian Crown Treasury.
I wonder if these pins have any symbolic meaning. I wonder if these...
Any of them look familiar?
I wonder if these pins have any symbolic meaning. I wonder... Looks like it weighs a ton. Ludwig's Grand Master Wardrobe from the Knights of St. George. Looks like it weighs a ton.
Where else can we go? This way. And we saw those.
I have no idea what that says. Looks old, though.
Oh my god. That's the sleigh for my dream.
The midnight sleigh rides. Ludwig went on long sleigh rides in the middle of the night, particularly in his later years. It is said that he suffered from insomnia, headaches, and toothaches, and the rides soothed his restlessness. The sight of the king's grand sleigh speeding through the countryside of the Alps often startled the peasants and became a superstitious omen of ill fortune. I can see why. But what was he doing out there at night?
Hunting, of course. What else would he be doing?
Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my dream meant. I have to ask someone. This thing is getting too weird. Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my dream meant. I have to ask someone.
Mrs. Smith? Oh, Mrs. Smith is the beehive lady.
Ludwig's death mask. Wow. Ludwig's death mask.
That is pretty cool.
Wow.
Something in this case? Ah.
December 14th, 1881, Linderhof. Order another work by Jennings on the occult. Write urgently to Klug, saying that I insist that the stoppages by the bank cease. I want it, and therefore it must be done. Write very urgently. He must succeed at once, and then must report to me urgently. If I give orders to clear my room, doing so must not be postponed as it happened. Pencils must be pointed without special orders. The day after tomorrow, 1,000 marks. How is Louis now? I want to know whether he looks unhappy. How often have I said that the coffee must not come up boiling hot, so that it can only be drunk after standing an hour? If any more correspondence come from Louis, they are to be burnt immediately, but I am to be informed of their arrival.
All right, so we have Klug and Louis.
These are actual notes from Ludwig to his servants. They go far in showing the king's state of mind. They were smuggled out and used as evidence in compiling the order for Ludwig's arrest.
December 18th, 1881, Linderhof. Every day get up earlier for certain. See to that very particularly. Write it down. Remember that when the great friend arrives at Neuschwanstein, we retire to the hall. We are not to be disturbed. I will not tolerate interference or insubordination.
The great friend. The great friend, Wagner? Perhaps they went hunting together. Where else can I go? Or is that it?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ludwigs Tagebuch im Museum?
Ja,
Wo kann ich Ludwigs Tagebuch hier anschauen?
die Tagebücher sind ganz persönlich. Die sind in den königlichen Archiven. Niemand darf die lesen.
Aber
Nein, niemand darf die lesen.
danke.
She said, it's such a wonderful book. I suggest you read it.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Im Museum ist ein Brief von Ludwig über eine neue Wagner-Oper.
Ja, ja, Ich kenne diesen Brief.
Wo kann ich mehr von dieser Wagner-Oper sehen?
Ja, ich weiß nichts über Wagner. Das hier ist kein Wagner-Museum.
Ja, ich weiß.
In Bayreuth befindet sich ein Wagner-Museum. Versuchen Sie es halt doch, ne?
Bayreuth. Danke.
Okay. Well, it seems like she got some information. There we go. So Ludwig supported Wagner financially, called him the great friend. Ludwig wrote a letter to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to purpose for a new Wagner opera, but then refused to see the man. Nothing more was ever heard about this new opera. Was there something new, or was Ludwig crazy?
Karen Chiemsey. Ludwig wrote a letter to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to prepare for a new Wagner opera, but then refused to see the man. Nothing more was ever heard about this new opera.
Do I have another page? No.
Mrs. Smith claims to not know anything about the Black Wolf. She says she was channeling the message from someone else. She says she doesn't know who, but that the force was very powerful. She wants to help get to the bottom of it. I suppose I could use the help, even if she is a bit odd. Yeah, and the Grand Canyon's a bit deep.
So is that in the... Okay. Let's go back to the beginning of the journal here. So we got all the information on Gabriel. Rittersberg. Black Wolf. Probably more room for stuff there. How do I turn the page this way? Oh, here we go.
Neuschwanstein.
Okay,
Ludwig
here's my
lived
notes
from
from
1845 to
Neuschwanstein.
1886. He built 3 castles. Wagner seems to have had a major effect on Ludwig's life. Find out more about that. Neuschwanstein. Ludwig studied the occult. Also, he withdrew from his state duties, wanted to be a real king, but didn't have much power under Prussia. I should find out more about Bavaria's relationship with
of that
Prussia.
Voodoo Drum Guide in Gabriel Knight 1. Yeah, I remember. Seems like I'm missing a section here from Neuschwanstein.
Neuschwanstein. There are paintings in the Singers' Hall portraying scenes from an unknown story, scenes involving a wolf. More than that, the story looks like a werewolf story to me. Plus, these paintings aren't the original paintings. Ludwig had these put in later, covering the old ones up. Perhaps I'm letting my imagination overrun my objectivity. What story are these scenes from? Why did Ludwig have a sudden affinity with a wolf? Possible werewolf story.
Okay. So I need to look to see if I can find the original paintings behind the new paintings. Maybe that was it.
I don't have anything to say to her at the moment.
Okay. She told me to go to the Wagner Museum. That's what she said. I'm going to go back to Neuschwanstein first, though. Wait, which way? This way. There's a guard there.
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings. But what story?
Okay, maybe don't take the screwdriver to the painting. Oh.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered.
This is the final room of our tour, the Singers' Hall.
Seems
It
like
was
the
modeled
guards
after the
tend to
Singers'
leave while
Hall
we're
of the
listening to the
Wartburg
tour tape.
Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was built for small private concerts, but Ludwig himself never gave one here. The hall is
I don't know what else to use other than the screwdriver. There must be something I haven't looked at, though. Oh, I don't think I saw this one.
Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Or maybe I did.
The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron. The death of Engelhard. Ludwig's childhood castle, Hohenschwangau, is visible from the lookout in the Singers' Hall.
Nice view of the Alps. Nice view.
I can exit this way? Oh, I see. Takes you to the same screen. Alright. So is there something in this room that I missed? This guy's not leaving. Just Tracy, welcome in. Good to see you back in here. Thank you for the heart me.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here.
The miracle of the Grail.
Find a place to hide. Yeah. Could work.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
This really means anything to me yet. Oh, okay. I haven't seen this screen.
In the corner is a brown tiled stove with clay figures of Tristan and Isolde.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
You are now standing in the king's bedroom. The theme of the bedroom is Tristan and Isolde, the tragic love story retold in Wagner's opera. The opera was given its... This is probably the most elaborate and expensive bedroom ever created. It was this kind of
I wonder why Ludwig was going to the tower the night he was arrested.
I really want to get in there. So when we first came to the castle, this guy eventually left this room. We were able to move around. Chris said, or just sleep on the king's bed. It's a good idea. That's what I would do when no one was looking. Just wonder if there's another screen I missed somewhere. Hmm. Did I miss any screens somewhere? Oh, I didn't see this
A
one.
king saint? I wonder if Ludwig pictured himself that way. Or maybe he just wanted to be that way. A king. A king. A king.
It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful. It's a.
The Black Madonna of El Tadin. I wonder what her story is all about. The Black. The Black.
Huh. I'm getting nowhere, aren't I?
These linens look seriously expensive. And seriously old.
Take a screwdriver to him. Or not.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here.
Wonder if I just missed my chance.
The study painting.
No, that wouldn't make sense. The game hasn't really done that yet.
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
I really want to touch it now. How do we get rid of the guard?
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk, writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics.
Say
In
his
later
favorite
years, he
author?
also studied the occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt...
Oh, she left. She left. Quick, open it.
I doubt there's... I doubt...
Screwdriver. No, okay.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died. I wonder...
Can't search his desk?
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga in the Wartburg Castle. The study paintings depict scenes from...
I need to wait for him to leave. Gotta be something with the guard's rotation, right? So there's new paintings over old paintings. We know that. And there's a door in the front we couldn't get in. Check my notebook. Oh, I'm at the end. Wagner. Looks like that's the end of the... Oh, Ludwig. There we go. Mrs. Smith thinks that Christian Ritter's letter to Ludwig about the Black Wolf and her own warning about the Black Wolf so soon thereafter are pointing the way to Ludwig. She says I should look into him. While I may not totally buy her logic, I can't help but agree with her. Okay, I think it filled it in.
Neuschwanstein. Ludwig was really into swans and lilies. They represented purity and majesty. Later in life, he became more and more reclusive. Didn't even want servants to look at him. Neuschwanstein. Weird. Ludwig wanted his castles destroyed after his death.
Okay, this is where I thought maybe there was more information. Yeah, the paintings aren't the original paintings. Ludwig had these put in later, covering the old ones up. Perhaps I'm letting my imagination overrun my objectivity. What story are these scenes from? Why did Ludwig have a sudden affinity with a wolf? Possible werewolf story. All right, let's go to our new location then. I think we have to come back there and get into the tower and look behind the paintings. We probably just can't do it yet. We'll go to the Wagner Museum.
Grüß Gott.
Guten Tag. Ist das die Wagner Museum?
Ja, you're an American, aren't you? I'm afraid the house is closed this time of year. It will be open next month.
Crap.
You are interested in Wagner?
Very interested. Very recently very interested.
Sure. Most of the house is closed for cleaning, but a few rooms are open. I shouldn't let you probably, but if it is only you, you are alone, aren't you?
Endlessly.
Come in and look over.
That's very generous. What do I owe you?
Georg Immerding. It's only a few displays. Besides, I
Like
wouldn't
the
be much
Knights
of
of
a
Georg?
shining knight if I charge you.
Thanks, Georg. My name is Grace.
Hello. Have a good time.
Wonder if he's part of a secret society. That might be a stretch. All right, let's save it. New save. Creative. The Wagner Museum. Or Wagner.
Wagner's piano. On this piano, the maestro composed his later operas, including The Ring.
The Ring. Franz Liszt, composer and Cosima Wagner's father.
Richard Wagner.
Had a bit of a neck beard, didn't he?
This must be a model of Wagner's own theater, here in Bayreuth. This must... Opera costumes. Opera... These look like production designs. I don't see anything that looks like those wolf paintings in Neuschwanstein, though. These look like production designs. I don't see...
The great patron himself.
Ludwig, I guess.
Ludwig as the classical Greek hero.
Ludwig's death mask.
Ludwig's death mask.
Is it the same or does it look different?
A portrait given as a gift from Ludwig to Wagner.
June 10th, 1881, Munich residence. Great friend. I am writing to you in the middle of the night. My blood is pounding too wildly for sleep. Tonight's performance, how can I describe it? I am unsure whether to be terrified or thrilled. Perhaps I even feel hopeful. If it is hope, you have given it to me, my friend, for the first time in years. We must speak. Something happened during the music tonight, but I must have your absolute confidence. As you love me, come at once. Your devoted king, Ludwig.
Suspicious.
July 1882. Great and beloved king, Monsieur Beaujolais and I have finished the diagram. We checked the figures many times, and Monsieur is confident that it will work. 8 identical fixtures are to be made from the diagram and placed in the theater exactly as specified. I'm sending the diagram with your courier. Be full of hope and have courage. All will be well. Your own, Wagner.
Okay, so a diagram with 8 identical fixtures to be placed in the theater exactly as specified. So the theater could be the theater at Neuschwanstein Castle, which was never used for anything other than private concerts from Wagner and for Ludwig. So I'm sending the diagram with your courier. I wonder if I'm going to be able to find that in his diary or something. 8 identical fixtures. Could those be the paintings that were covered up? Sounds like they were going to
July
perform some kind of ceremony.
1882. Be full. The death of Wagner. On Ash Wednesday, 1883, Wagner suffered a heart attack in a Venetian gondola on the way to Saint Michel. His wife and the gondolier carried him into a church where he regained consciousness. Wagner died 4 days later on this sofa. Wagner died on that sofa. That's kind of creepy.
A little bit.
Wagner's death mask.
And a cast of his hand, apparently. That doesn't look like someone from the hunting club, does it? That sure would be interesting. If both Ludwig and Wagner have survived as werewolves.
Wagner's desk, exactly as it was on the day he died.
Oh, is this the diagram then? So there's the stage.
It's a letter from a Monsieur Beaujolais, dated September 1881. Looks like he's discussing acoustics and sound waves. And crystals. Wasn't Wagner's Bayreuth Theater already built? Why would Wagner be worrying about acoustics?
I don't think they were. All right, so we've got 4 fixtures on each side. They're kind of higher up. They're not the paintings. They could be covering, the paintings could be covering them. So crystals, 4 on either side of the stage? Or is that on either side of the balcony overlooking the Alps?
It looks like an architectural drawing of a theater. The Wittelsbacher Theater, München. Every square inch is measured.
Definitely interesting.
It looks every square inch.
Can I make a copy of this somehow? Use my notebook?
It looks like an architecture. Every.
All right, did I see everything? I might have moon phases. Yeah, that's possible.
Wagner souvenirs. Don't think I need any of those. Wagner.
Ooh, is that the diary? That'd be cool.
What's that book in the case?
Cosima Wagner's journal. It's locked up for preservation.
A journal. So how do I get to it?
What are you doing here if the museum is closed?
They always like to have a caretaker here. It's a good job for me. I can soak in the atmosphere of the maestro while I compose.
What are you composing?
This? Oh, a new arrangement. One of Wagner's pieces.
For the Bayreuth Opera?
No. I am only a student at the university. I study music, composition, conducting.
Is there much of a call for conductors in Europe?
Ask my brother. He is the conductor for the Munich Opera.
Well, that's convenient. Does that mean you get free opera tickets?
Yes.
Did he say Munich?
I get a week's pass to the Opernfestspiele, the opera festival in Munich. It starts in a few months.
Hope I'm still around to see it.
Come with me if you like. If you're still around, I can go backstage and all sorts of things.
I'd love that. If I'm still in Germany, I'll call you, all right?
Yeah, good.
It's a date, I guess.
Tell me about Wagner.
He was a character. He spent most of his life trying to convince rich patrons to subsidize his work. Unfortunately, he had expensive tastes. You see, he believed that someone of his genius deserved to live well. Can't argue with that.
But Ludwig II supported him, didn't he?
Yeah, sure, but Ludwig came along very late in Wagner's life. By then, he had already been run out of Venice and most major cities because of debt. Ludwig saved him. And the music. Best thing Ludwig ever did.
Do you know anything about that letter from Wagner to Ludwig in the display case? The one about the diagram?
Ah, no. Some sort of equipment for Ludwig's theater. But I don't know why Wagner would have cared about this. If he was worried about any theater, you would think it would have been his own theater, here, in Bayreuth.
Have you ever heard about the letter that Ludwig wrote to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to prepare for a new Wagner opera?
You're full of surprises for an American.
What do you know about it?
No one knows anything about it. It's like a treasure map, you know? It's probably a complete fairy tale, but it does make you wonder.
You have no idea what it could have referred to? Maybe something that Wagner was working on with Ludwig?
If there was, there's no trace of it. Except perhaps in the dreams of unemployed music students.
Have you ever heard about the wolf panels in the Singers' Hall at Neuschwanstein?
Did my brother send you here?
No.
Probably not. It's only the letter to the conductor, the wolf panels. Oh, my brother thinks I am crazy because of all my theories.
What theories?
This is Quatsch. If there was a lost opera, a lost Wagner opera, and if one could find it, to a conductor, this would be like finding King Tut's tomb. But people have looked for it before. If it ever existed, it is gone forever. My brother says I waste my time even thinking about it.
So the wolf panels are possibly part of the lost opera. Has something to do with the diagram with the Singers' Hall.
I'm curious. Is there any other information that points to the lost opera besides Ludwig's letter and the wolf panels?
It's nothing. I'm not even supposed to have seen it.
Tell me. What is it?
You see, my brother says that Wagner was too egotistical to have produced a lost opera. If he was working on something new, every person in Bayreuth would have heard about it. On the other hand, it was in Ludwig's character to have wanted a private opera.
But it wouldn't have been private. Ludwig's letter shows he intended it to be played in Munich.
Yes, but that it would get so far without Wagner telling others? Why keep it a secret?
Maybe there was a very good reason for secrecy.
A story that the public couldn't know.
Like... Never mind.
Also, Dog Meat, welcome in on the purple site. Sorry, want to make sure I acknowledge you over there.
I don't have anything to ask Georg about at the moment.
So I wonder if we found everything we needed to find in here yet. I bet we did. Where else can we go? Well, let's do a save first. Let's save over that one. I think I want to go back to Neuschwanstein. Where am I going here?
I doubt there's anything left in there now. I wonder why...
All right. So fixtures. There were 8 fixtures.
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings. But what story?
Yeah, ask about the artist of the panels. Maybe that's a plot hole. You might be right. Someone had to have painted them. They would have known what they covered up. So cast out, falls in loves, gets arrested.
Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Imprisonment. She marries somebody else. The wolf dies. I can't see the other wall though. Maybe that is the other wall. No, because then, yeah.
Nice view of the Alps.
There's something hitting up there? They do provide the name of the characters, you're right. Maybe they're titled somehow.
The death of Engelhart.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered
Maybe we get
while
into
on
the
duty.
tower, we can figure it out.
Engelhart courts Hildegunde.
Oh, we can scroll through them. That's kind of nice.
Engelhart and the blacksmith. The hunters track down Engelhart and Hildegunde. Hildegunde's imprisonment. The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron.
And the Baron.
The Death of Engelhart.
And that's the end. And I didn't learn anything.
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings.
Well, I went everywhere. I tried going back to Rittersburg, I guess. Maybe people here know the story, know something more about him. I go check out the library.
Hi, did you have a good time?
Uh-huh. Anything new?
Yes, you had a phone call.
Really?
A man named Professor Barkley. He said you had his number.
I do. Thanks.
All right, we gotta call Professor Barkley. He was gonna look into Ludwig for us. I think he was looking into Ludwig. Oh yeah, totally besties now. All right, let's get out our card for Professor Barkley and give him a call.
I'll write to Gabriel, soon as I have enough info to blow his little investigation out of the water.
Hello?
Hi, Professor Barkley. It's Grace.
Oh, good. I have a name for you. It's Herr Josef Dahlmeier, and he specializes in Bavarian history,
Herr
and I
Josef
think he's
Dahlmeier.
somewhere near you are.
Herr Josef Dahlmeier. Great, got a number?
Yeah, I do. It's 4982-555-2234.
Thanks a lot. Sorry about the bother.
That's no bother. When are you coming back to school, Gracie?
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Well, be good.
I don't trust that guy. Okay, so I have another phone number to call.
Hallo?
Hallo, sind Sie Herr Josef Dahlmeier?
Yeah, you must be Grace Nakamura, the American history student.
Yes.
I hear you're interested in Ludwig II.
Very.
Good. There's something I want to show you. Drive
he's
to
got
Berg
a
on Starnberger See.
portrait
Meet
of
me at
Ludwig
the
on his
Memorial
wall.
Chapel.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Was there anything you wanted me to look into before we meet?
Well, I was hoping you knew something about someone called the Black Wolf. He was a contemporary of Ludwig's. He lived in Prussia, I think, and he was well connected.
Never heard of him, but I'll check. See you there.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, let's write the letter.
I'll write to Gabriel, soon as I have enough info to blow his little investigation out of the water. It wasn't worth picking up the first time.
Notebook. All right, what did I find out? Nothing? Where did he say to meet? Did he say the church?
Gerda?
Yes.
All smiles now.
Have you heard from Gabriel at all?
No, Grace, I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Why am I thinking he said the church?
Those look better.
Jurgen. These cough.
Just checking. Nothing new. I guess I can go talk to the Smiths. Oh, not here anymore.
Are the Smiths in their room?
Yeah, I believe so.
Could you ask them to come down, please?
Ja, natürlich.
Now you just tell Merle what's going on.
I had a dream last night. I didn't remember it at first, but I saw something today at one of the museums.
What was the dream?
I was being chased in the woods by wolves. And I saw a sleigh. Ludwig was inside. He pulled me up, and I thought I was safe. But then he turned into a wolf.
So what do you think, Mother?
A dream of rescue is a spiritual guide dream. The High Priestess in Gabriel's cards must be linked to Ludwig somehow.
What do the wolves represent?
I'm a psychic, dear, not Freud. But the warning I got was about the black wolf, wasn't it? And the wolves in the dream. It must be the same danger.
It's so frustrating. The more I find out, the more questions I have.
Why don't you try a little communicating of your own?
I think
Ludwig's
it's
the
weird to
link.
call your
Appeal
wife
to
mother.
him.
Yeah.
The answers may not come right
a
away,
little strange.
but at least you'll give the guide something specific to say the next time she contacts you.
Isn't there any way that you could,
Especially when the kids
you
aren't
know,
around.
do a psychic reading on Ludwig or something?
To tell you the truth, I've been trying all day to make contact, but I only feel great despair. Ludwig's soul is not at peace.
I'd better go.
What if his soul
Anytime
has
you
a
need
mortal
us,
form?
stop by.
And be careful now.
Thanks.
I don't have anything to say to Herr Huber at the moment. I don't have anything else to say to the Smiths right now.
King Ludwig II of Bavaria. So that's King Ludwig II of Bavaria. I have no idea what that says. Looks old, though.
That looks like the one that was in the museum, doesn't it? Guess that's locked. Let's get out of here. All right, so where did that guy say to meet? I missed something. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so it looks like there's only 6 chapters. I doubt we're gonna finish it this week on this stream and next stream. But so I think going over the weekend, I'll have to put it to a vote on what the next game is gonna be, because we're definitely gonna be finishing this next week. I think. Well, maybe I should not say definitely, but we might end it within a couple more streams. Sometimes these games can move fast in the second half. All right, so I don't need the opening movie, do I? That was the dream, I think. Yeah. I need my conversation. Star Trek Borg. I should play that. It's FMV, isn't it? But that conversation is not showing up in her notebook. All right, let's just get in the car and go somewhere. I swear he said to meet somewhere. Oh, that church. Okay. The Starnberger Sea. Hey, where's my car? Oh, I can travel this way.
It's a memorial chapel.
And I remember when being able to do panoramas on cameras was such an amazing thing.
This is where he died. You must be Grace. Herr Dahlmeier.
Hello.
Josef. I didn't mean to startle you. I wanted you to see it. I feel him here the most, you know, more than at the castle. So, what did you want to know?
Professor Barclay says your hobby is Ludwig.
Yes. He was the last real king that Bavaria had. As a Bavarian and a history buff, well, that's enough to hook me right there.
But there's more, right?
He was a romantic, you know, a dreamer. And he was misunderstood, maligned.
Sounds like you can relate.
Me? Hell, I have it easy. At least I live in the 1990s. And not every eye in the country is on me. But yes, I can relate.
You know about Ludwig's diary, right?
Of course.
How can I get my hands on it?
I'm sorry.
Or a copy.
I have been trying myself for 5 years. They keep it locked up tight in the Royal Archives and they don't let it out. They must think it contains things that will hurt his image.
They won't let anyone see it, not ever?
Only one person outside of the government ever got to see it, a biographer, Sir Richmond Chapel. He had friends among the German royals and they let him look at it.
Did you ever try to contact Chapel? Pick his brain?
No, I don't believe I never thought of that. If you do and you find out anything, you must share.
It's a promise. Tell me about Ludwig.
I don't know where to start. There's so much. Politically, the most significant thing about Ludwig II was that he signed over independent Bavarian statehood to Prussia in 1870. Bavaria became a part of United Germany, and Ludwig became a figurehead prince under the Prussian Kaiser.
Why do you think he did that?
Bavaria had been involved in the 100 Years' War. People were tired of fighting. Prussia's push to unite the German states made some amount of sense. Still, Ludwig must have had other
Yeah,
options.
he wouldn't have been given very much
At the
choice.
very least, he should have negotiated better terms.
So what was the real reason?
He was manipulated by Bismarck. At least that's what I think, anyway.
What about Ludwig personally?
You'll find two perspectives on Ludwig. The view the tourists get is the romantic ideal, Ludwig the tormented loner. Then there is the historian's point of view. Ludwig was plagued with guilt over his sexual orientation and was driven mad with self-loathing.
But I take it you're not buying either point of view.
Well, it's all too convenient, isn't it? That he was a devout Catholic, there is no question, and I'm sure there were pressures on him to be normal. But he was no prude. He loved Byron. Yes. Philosophy, the French court. If anything, Ludwig was too much an egomaniac. He didn't give a damn what anyone thought. And besides, he didn't try to hide any of his relationships. If he suffered from anything in his romantic life, it was disillusionment. No one loved him back as purely as he himself loved.
Well, if it wasn't sexual guilt that tormented him, what was it?
I don't know. His diary was filled with self-guilt, but I'm sure it's not about that. If I knew, I'd write my own book, set the record straight.
Oh, he ate somebody.
So to speak.
Have you read anything about Ludwig's midnight sleigh rides?
Oh, would that have been something? To be out at night and suddenly see him sweep by with his entourage? They say the night agitated Ludwig, and that being outdoors and the rushing feeling of the sleigh calmed him down. Sometimes even the sleigh wasn't enough. He would stop in some remote woods, order his servants to stay put, and go wandering off by himself for hours. It drove the servants crazy.
All right, that's obvious then.
Tell me about Bismarck.
Oh, Bismarck. He was the Prussian Kaiser's chancellor. Not a nice man. Bismarck had a reputation for learning people's weaknesses and manipulating them. It's a matter of record that he had spies on Ludwig's staff. He may even have had a henchman even closer to the king. And he was involved in the conspiracy to declare Ludwig insane.
Did you find out anything about the Black Wolf?
I did. I'd read about him before, but I hadn't realized that was who you were talking about. His name was Godin, Paul Godin. I found a reference to his being called the Black Wolf after you telephoned.
I've never heard of him. Who was he?
Godin lived on the fringes of the Prussian court. He was handsome, charming, dangerous, or so they say. He was variously rumored to have been a foreign prince, a Prussian spy, even an assassin. Since you were interested in him, I found out some things that are probably true. It said he came from abroad in the mid-1800s, but claimed high German blood.
Do you know where he came from?
No. And he was ruthlessly ambitious. He probably found out who held the power, Bismarck, and offered his services. Bismarck was a good judge of talent, of that sort anyway.
What else do you know about Godin?
What does he have to do with
He
Ludwig?
must have done something remarkable. Bismarck was not a generous man. He liked to string people along with promises, but rarely came through. He did for Godin, though. He gave him a royal title and lands in 1863. And that was the last reference I found to him.
Well, how could he just disappear?
It's not that unusual. Back then, when you were given a title, you usually changed your name and moved to a place where no one knew your past, so you could act with impunity. Or be a pompous ass and get away with it.
Is there any way to find out what Godin was called after he got his title?
Is it that critical?
It might be.
Well, you could send away for a copy of the entitlement deed, assuming it has been destroyed during one of the wars. Godin's new name would be on it. But you would need a research permit from the government to access those records, and they can be very hard to get. A lot of red tape.
Need a research permit.
Great. What do you know about Ludwig's hunting accident?
A couple of years ago, I was introduced to this great old man, a real old world farmer. Well, his grandfather was Richard Horning, Ludwig's equestrian. Oh, he told some great Ludwig stories. Sometimes I get lucky. Anyway, he said that after the hunting accident, Ludwig got terribly ill, that he had a fever and was acting crazy. They were afraid that the wolf had been carrying a disease or that the bite had gone septic.
A wolf bit him?
Yeah, it's not so unusual. There were a lot of wolves in the Alps back then. The servants were really worried, but Ludwig recovered, physically anyway. Horning's grandfather said it was the fever that broke Ludwig's mind, that he was worse than ever after that.
Bitten by a wolf and then got a little crazy. Started going out on midnight sleigh rides and being reclusive.
What do you mean Ludwig got worse after the accident?
If a wolf bites you by the back.
Ludwig always had been a very private person. But after the accident, he got darker, more crazy. Towards the end, he was even forcing his servants to enter his chambers bent over so they couldn't see his face. Horning's grandfather said his temper was fearsome. He would fly into a rage at the least mistake.
Must have been terrified of him.
Yes, well. Horning's grandfather felt sorry for Ludwig, and Ludwig hated his own violence. He was always giving gifts to his servants to apologize.
So he didn't want the servants to see his face, and he was inexplicably angry, not controlling his emotions. Didn't we see something about that in the book on werewolfery?
You mentioned that there were other reasons why Ludwig's servants feared him.
Ah, that's another of Horning's mysteries. There's a story about Neuschwanstein. Apparently, there was a period of time of 2 or 3 months when Wagner would come and visit him
Wagner?
there. Yeah. The two would lock themselves in the singers' hall. Horning's grandfather said the sounds that came from there were awful. Well, the servants had superstitious minds anyway. Some of them quit over it, just walked away.
What kind of
Awful
sounds?
sounds coming from the
Horning's
singer's
grandfather
hall.
called them heartbreaking and ungodly. Maybe it was Wagner trying to sing.
Well, I guess that's all for now. Thanks for your help.
It's my pleasure. And if you ever want to talk again, just give me a call. I'll meet you down.
I will. Thanks.
Servus.
Bye.
I think that was good information.
This is where they found Ludwig's body.
Or did they?
This is where they found Ludwig's body.
Yeah, I think he was a pretty good actor. Better than some. Alright, the Wagner Museum, Ludwig Museum, Neuschwanstein Castle, the Starnberger Sea, and back to Rittersburg. Try Rittersburg.
Hi, Gerda. I'm back.
Good.
Gerda?
Yes?
Gerda, do you have any idea where I could get a government research permit? I don't have time for a lot of red tape.
You should ask Herr Übergrau. He can maybe get such things very fast.
You think? I was gonna write Gabriel today anyway.
Herr Übergrau, that's the lawyer for Gabriel, right?
I don't have anything to ask Gerda right now. I don't have...
Alright, let's save the game. Let's go with Black Wolf. New name? Whatever he's decided to start going by. Story could be in one of the books. Book on mythology, maybe?
I wish I could read these biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute. Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. I didn't see this before. Yep, English.
Just didn't see it before. It's convenient game logic. You gotta be kidding me. Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. Sir Richmond Chapel. In Frankfurt, Germany, Bertil Publishing.
Ludwig remained throughout his life both very bright and very naive. He was an introvert who seemed to be constantly out of sync with traditional views of rulership, money, and human relationships. The world ever failed to match his ideals. Perhaps this was a fault of his sheltered upbringing as future king. He never was introduced to the real world, and the real world failed to interest him as an adult. In his youth, Ludwig was in fine physical condition and loved to hike alone in the Alps and ride horses. He had a hunting lodge, Schahen, specifically for this purpose. Unfortunately, in 1872, a rather traumatic hunting accident befell the king at Schahen, and his leg was cruelly damaged. He never fully recovered from this incident, and his hiking and riding ceased. His physical health deteriorated from that time on, and explains why he looked so unhealthy in later years.
Oh wait, I just missed what she was about to say.
Ludwig in his youth, a hunting accident? Other than his long-standing friendship with the Empress Elizabeth of Austria and with his mother, the relationships Ludwig attempted with others were nearly always a disappointment for him and a bewilderment for his partners. He would become obsessed with someone, a singer, an artist, a nobleman or a peasant, and would bombard them with gifts, praise, and favors. When they would fail to return the depths of rapturous passion he required, the singular adoration and humble obedience he expected, he would grow disappointed and cut himself off from them. The objects of his interest were occasionally women, usually ones he fell in love with after seeing them in idealized roles on the stage, but they were more often young men who fit his fantasies of the heroic sagas like Lohengrin and Parsifal that he so loved.
Interesting detail.
A good example of the king's obsessive behavior in relationships is the following letter from the Königlich Bayerische Archives, which this author was privileged to access. It is dated 1864, and it was written by Ludwig's manservant, Paul, to a friend. The king has been in high mood these days. The reason, of course, is a new interest. Thursday last, the king attended a performance of Lohengrin in the Wittelsbacher Theater. He came back in a fever, demanding that a man be found. The man, it was gathered, had been sitting in a box across from Ludwig and had drawn the king's attention by his beauty and his deep emotional response to the performance. The king declared that here at last is a sensitive soul. The man was tracked down and brought in for an audience. Upon my word, never have I seen any mind so in line with His Majesty's own. They discussed Wagner and France and Byron and all manner of things until long past dawn. The young man, beautiful indeed to look upon, met the king's enthusiasm and knowledge bit for bit.
Maybe that's the Black Wolf.
His Majesty has been in the thick of it ever since, and while I welcome his good temper, I grow tired of fetching letters back and forth to Louis, so called by His Majesty.
That's Louis.
That should tell you who the young man looks like, at all hours of the night. 1863? Wasn't that about the same time the Black Wolf got his entitlement? This author has not been able to learn much about Louis, but he was known to have been a seemingly high-bred foreigner, and he was involved with Ludwig as late as 1880, when he fell into disfavor.
That definitely sounds like the Black Wolf.
The king, especially later in life, felt a great deal of guilt about his sensual nature. His diaries are full of repentant entries begging God for forgiveness and swearing to remain pure. In many of the diary entries, he swears to abstain from sexual relations. The number of these oath entries indicate that Ludwig was not very successful in resisting temptation, yet it is also clear that Ludwig was a God-fearing man and that, though his flesh might occasionally fall, he never surrendered his heart and his conscience to sin.
All right, looks like that's all we can read. All right. Maybe we just write our letter to Gabriel now. Wonder if that'll end the chapter. We are about halfway through the chapters and halfway through the score. 339 out of 679.
I should get a letter off to Gabriel. I need to include a note to Ubergrau about the research permit.
All right. Let's save the game again. All right, what I need to do next, go mail a letter. But it is 6 p.m. or 6:01 p.m. Central Standard Time, so I have to end the stream. I will be back on Friday, so my normal stream schedule is Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's when you will catch the rest of the game. So I hope to see you all in there then, and until then, I'll see you in the Discord. So I hope you all have a really good night.